to the broadcast with Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is season 6, episode 4, episode number 229. How is it going?
Goes.
Good.
More importantly, it is our live champagne brunch finally happening. Woo!
Yay.
Anyway, cheers. Happy early birthday, Amanda and Daniel.
Thank you. We're actually...
And Ro, whose birthday is the following week. And Elena's birthday is also in July. Any other July birthdays? Cheers to everybody. How's it going?
Yeah.
Pretty good. It's Saturday morning. It's nice.
Amanda and I have both been up since about the same time. I think I woke up around 6. Alex woke me up around 6:32. Okay. But I have had a significantly busier, more productive morning than you have, I think.
Yeah, that's something like babies, man, they are a productivity sucker.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you want to do other things? I'm going to poop my diaper and then I'm going to make cute cooing noises. So you really can't do anything else.
Well,
you're mine, bitch, you're mine.
Alex still wears a diaper overnight. And once in a while, he'll still... just poop in the diaper because he's just lazy and he's like, whatever. And this morning was one of those mornings.
Get up to use the bathroom.
Right? So this morning was one of the, but yesterday we were in the car and we drove from wherever we were in Maryland through to Raleigh. It was 5 hours and 23 minutes from that we were in. We didn't stop once and they both held their pee for the whole time. I was very,
wow. I don't think I could even do that.
Good job,
actually. Yeah, Alex, this morning, going back to what you were saying with the cooing and the diapers, he lays down, he brings his pillow down to the floor and he's like, okay, I'm ready for diaper change. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I wanted to make sure I was comfortable.
I want to make sure I was comfortable.
I was like, you can always just, use the potty, but cool. So we are live. Randy is here and he has just left. So bye, Randy. Thank you.
Bye, Randy. Thanks for joining. Hello and goodbye.
Except JP, Judy, Maggie, Matt, and Ro here. Did I miss anybody? Okay.
Unless there's a second page to the Zoom.
No page 2.
No page 2. That's nice. Everyone can fit solidly on one page. I appreciate that.
Yeah. A whole page.
A whole hand, a whole page.
Yeah,
we really like complete things this season.
Before I forget, we are going to do our Handmaid's Tale episode on Tuesday, July 13th. So if you, I guess it's too late now when you're hearing this. Hope you guys sent in feedback for the Handmaid's Tale episode 5 days ago. Sorry.
Sure hope Amanda finishes by then.
I watched the first one this morning and I was like, oh, this feels like such a chore again. I never regret it at the end, but while I'm watching it, I'm always like, oh, can I just read Wikipedia?
It does. I finished episode 5 last night and it ends with like a really lovely cliffhanger. It was like the first time, because normally it's a heavy show. Like it is not a show that you can watch multiple episodes in one sitting. It's like, it's too much for that. It's like eating the entire cake. Like you shouldn't do it. But this episode, the way it ended, I really actually truly wanted to go into the next episode. And if it wasn't like bedtime, I would have just gone into the next episode.
Oh, well, that's good.
It was that. Yeah. It was
it
was good. It wasn't like oh no, something terrible happens, I need to know. It was like
right.
It was like something exciting. So
no, I'm like, which one was the 5th episode? I have to go and remind myself.
Yeah, I feel like I can't say
anything. Yeah, don't say anything. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it was like a happy cliffhanger.
We can talk about it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Or 3 days ago in the past. Maggie said, and you guys please feel free to unmute if you want to talk, because we'll just keep a very relaxed format. We're not going to go through all the different segments and blah, blah, blah. We're just going to hang out and chit chat like it was a broad topic, except we're not going to mention, the DT words. So
unmentionables.
The former guy is not going to be a part of our brunch.
The former guy is not going to be part of our current conversation.
Exactly. Right. But Maggie had said I have a lot of Handmaid's Tale to watch by Tuesday. Me too. 9 1.25 episodes because I still have a few minutes left of the first one.
You know, I will say, Colleen. Oh no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, that's maybe actually the upside of watching Handmaid's Tale as it comes out, because I agree with you that it's hard to watch multiple episodes in a row. So it's but yeah, I think that helped me get through the first half.
Well, that's good because Judy said the first 3 or 4 episodes were really hard. So if Amanda says 5 gets better, I just have to suck it up. I don't know. Maybe the champagne will help, and I'll watch another one before.
To be fair, 5 is still a heavy episode. It just the end was really like things maybe turning a corner for the positive.
Awesome. Greg is joining us.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Cheers.
So, did anybody see Black Widow yet?
No, and I wanted to talk about that. Give me 1 second because I want to show you guys something before, because I actually wrote that down to talk about. So this is from the dollar store, and I'm obsessed with it. But I am doing
glass or plastic?
It's like I don't know.
A glasstic?
It's got to be glass.
Yeah,
it's got to be
like
glass.
Plastic.
Yeah, like feel it. You can hear it.
Speaking, interesting fact that you didn't ask for about glasstic. You can't etch on it.
Speaking of etching,
I went to how to etch like class, and they gave you like free wine glasses to do the etching.
That's so cool.
But the majority of them were glasstic, and the person that was running the class didn't know that. So when everybody's things didn't work, it was
that's so sad.
A huge mess.
It's really sad.
But you need real glass to do glass etching.
My champagne flute that I've been using the last few episodes, that's from the dollar store too. As is
my martini glasses are from the dollar store.
Yeah, as is
quality glassware.
Oh yeah, this too. So yeah. But speaking of etching, Jacob had made us these really awesome, and there's a whole bunch, so I need to figure out what to do with them.
Oh wait, you got a glare. Hold on.
I got a glare? Okay. It's got the 5 years with hers on it. I don't know how to get rid of this glare. Guys, how do you get rid of a glare?
That's true. Actually, maybe try. Do you have some dark item of clothing or fabric you can shove into the glass?
No.
That might work.
We got to. It's on this too. Can you see that?
Don't worry, guys. It's beautiful.
Awesome.
Both Shandy
it does look
and I
awesome.
have
I'll
seen
put it on
pictures of
Instagram.
It with sans glare, and they are gorgeous.
Does it work a little better?
You get the gist.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't see its full
the smaller one's better than the big one.
Yeah,
okay,
you don't get its full majesty, but like you can see basically what's happening.
Yeah, and then that's the wine glass that he surprised us with the 5, and
that one's pretty cool too.
But I wanted to give them a shout out. I ran them through the dishwasher last night, so they would be, maybe if I hadn't cleaned them, they wouldn't be shiny, and there would be no.
That's a good test though. They're dishwasher safe. That's good to know.
They sure are. I'll probably end up hand washing them anyway, because I'm sure the wear and tear over the. Yeah. But thank you so much to Jacob. I thought he had us. We knew he was going to do it, and he had us each pick one. So I picked the tumbler. I think Amanda picked the rocks glass too, and Shandy picked the beer. Is that what it was?
I think so. Yeah.
So I thought he was just going to send me 3, and then I would send it to you guys, and it, 8 of them showed up or 9 of them showed up, and I was like, oh my God. So I gotta figure out how to distribute them and put them on other ones in case anybody else wants them. So let me know if you do want one. You know how to get in touch with us at this point, and I will try to figure something out within the next week or so, just so they're not like, sitting here unused. I didn't use it today because I didn't want to use it until you ladies had yours. So
that's very sweet of you. But yeah, big shout out to Jacob. They're so beautiful.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Anyway, okay, Black Widow or any other movies, TV, anything anybody wants to talk about. And then I have a food for thought question. But yeah, did anybody other than Maggie watch Black Widow?
I think Matt did. So the reason I brought up Black Widow with Handmaid's Tale is because the guy that plays June's husband is in Black Widow. And I was like, ooh, it was nice to see him. I was like, that's June's husband. So that was why I brought up Black Widow during the Handmaid's Tale thing. So
does he also play with an American accent, or does he speak naturally?
Nope. So I didn't realize. I guess he's British. I didn't realize that.
I think so. Yeah,
he is British.
When you watch the behind the scenes,
leads in the Handmaid's Tale are British.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Yeah.
So no, he uses his real accent, which I didn't even realize he had. So, but yeah.
That's awesome.
The Brits can do an American accent way better than we can do a British accent.
100%.
Except Benedict Cumberbatch, which I think we have discussed on multiple occasions. Homeboy cannot do an accent.
And Henry Cusack is also terrible at an American accent.
Yeah. Great actor, bad with accents. It's it's not for everybody.
Yeah, just like watching Mare of Easttown, where I was like, oh, all of these people are British.
Surprise!
Yeah, I feel like you would never see that in reverse, though. I don't think you would ever see like a British drama with all American actors. Like, I think the Brits would just not have that.
Oh yeah, hell no.
Like, and why should they? Out of here with that.
Look, okay, not all of us can be Vanessa Hudgens with our British accents. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear that. I set the iMessage up thing on. Jay gave me his old setup and he created me a new setup, which is why everything is. I'm trying to figure out all the settings because I was left to the wolves after the first day where you guys were here and it was a disaster. And then I was like, well, you were kind of a dick, so I'm just going to figure it out myself. But I might need to bring him back in. Because like I said, now I fixed the Chrome thing so we can play voicemails again. But apparently I messed up Zoom.
So wait, so you just got an alert? Is that what you're saying? Because we didn't hear it.
Yeah. Oh, good. You're not hearing them. Yeah. Every time I get a text, it dings, and Jay's family text messages, because there's like 100 of them in there. Once they start, there's like ding, 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 ding. Because everybody, gets like whatever picture was sent, and then it's like, so-and-so like this picture. Somebody hearted this picture. So then all
now,
that.
does everyone in the group chat have an iPhone, or is it annoying?
Everyone in my... Okay, so yes, in Jay's family, yes. In my family, the immediate one of just like my parents and sisters and I, we all have iPhones. But when you get to the extended family one, my uncle has not an iPhone. He's got an Android, I guess. But he's the one that messes it up. And then it's always annoying, right? Because you try to send a video and it's like itty bitty.
Yeah. Is that why it's itty bitty?
I think so.
Yeah, my family group chat also is like that because even with my immediate family, not everyone has an iPhone for God knows what reason. And
it's free. iMessage is free.
It's like, but also it just makes no sense to have an Android.
Right. And so then when you like a picture or heart a picture, then you get an actual text message saying so-and-so liked this.
Yeah.
Which is funny in a way, but annoying.
Well, I was texting Dan one day and he sends a gazillion pictures and I just liked them. And he's like, and he actually got snippy about it. If you're listening, Dan, you got snippy about it. It was like, that when you like it, I can't tell what you're liking it. It just says that you liked a picture.
Well,
get an iPhone.
Could get an iPhone.
So now I just do thumbs up.
Because it is the best way to acknowledge a message when you don't have anything to really say.
Right. Like you don't have to. Then you have to be a jerk and not respond.
Yeah.
It's like I've seen it. Yep, got it. But it doesn't warrant. Yeah. Texting. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do appreciate.
Thank you for the beautiful picture.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Or the only time my dad ever texts is when he goes to check his time hop in the morning. And he'll share 50 time hop things. And he'll be like, yes, Dad, I get it. And sometimes he'll just share it specifically with the people who are in that picture. So he'll create one with me and my mom, one with me and Caitlin and my mom, one with Christy and Caitlin. And I'm just like, oh my God, there's so many. And I'll have to just go down and be like, heart.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of the groups, I think what one of the things that annoys me the most about not having everyone have an iPhone is that then you can't give it a name. So I get I have a couple of different chats where there's just there's 14 to 17 people depending on who is included, and I have to get the right one because it starts the same. So you actually look through the list to make sure oh yeah, this is the group chat that I want. We could just give it a name. It could just be family chat, but no.
That happens with. So there's a family chat with my parents, sisters, Jay, my brother-in-law, my cousin, my cousin's new wife, my other cousin, my aunt, and my uncle. And that's like, I know it's big, and that's supposed to be like the big group thread, except my uncle fucks it up every time, where there was one where I was sending pictures of the boys and my mom texted me. She was like, I had to look at these on Dad's phone. Why aren't I in that chat? And I was like, I don't know. Uncle Lou started it. I just was responding. I thought you were in there. I'm sorry.
Damn it, Uncle Lou.
And he does it every time. Anyway, families, they love each other and they can't text. Somebody tell me about Black Widow, if it was good or not. Like, should I watch it at home at night, or should I specifically in my fun employment go see it during the day?
I think it's worth going to see in the theater because it's a big action movie. The thing is, though, it's just like, why are we getting this movie now? That's sort of, I mean, I enjoyed it, but when you think about the Marvels thing, you're like, why are we doing this now? We know what happens to her. So like,
because it's set in between Endgame and Infinity War, or Infinity War,
Civil
Endgame.
War. Civil War.
Civil War. So it goes that far back?
Yep. Yes. So it's when it's before, like, it's when she was on the run from between Civil War and.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So is it just? I mean, I feel like Marvel doesn't do anything without like thinking it through. So is it because like themes are going to present itself in this cycle?
Well, it also got pushed back because of the pandemic, the release, right?
Right, but Civil War came out way before the pandemic.
Yeah, no, this movie should have come out a long time ago. And then it would have made more sense. But I mean, it's a fun movie. I liked it a lot. Keep it Civil War. Sorry. I think it's setting stuff up, and I won't go into what I think, because for that was sort of spoilers, but I think it's setting stuff up in the future.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So it's going to have some things coming up, but it's just like, we should have gotten this movie before. It sucks that it took this long for her to get a movie. So
yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Then I'm going to see it in the theaters.
I would think so. Hopefully you won't have annoying teenagers like I did, because I went to 5 o'clock on Thursday and I had to pull out the teacher voice during the credits because I was like, stop it. This is not a playground. Stop running around. Like,
during the opening credits or the closing credits?
Closing credits, luckily. Closing credits. But they were annoying during the whole thing.
Oh, no.
Like, you're not going to ruin the credit scene for me.
Exactly. Well, and people left. And I'm like, do you not realize it's a Marvel movie? Has Marvel taught you nothing? You stay. But yeah.
That's so funny.
Hey, Maggie.
Oh, yeah.
I once had the pleasure of seeing a movie where a parent brought like a young child to the movie, and to keep the child occupied, they let him sit there on his iPad and watch a totally separate cartoon that we all got to hear.
Oh my God.
You got to hear?
Because they didn't have headphones.
Exactly.
No.
Wow. That's a tough day to be a parent.
Yeah, right.
Amanda, don't be that parent.
Yeah. Well, hopefully,
get a
giving
babysitter.
That person the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully, it was just a matter of they forgot the headphones at home, and not that they just didn't have them in general.
But if you forgot the headphones, then that kind of vetoes that whole plan.
Maybe
it does.
Really wanted to see the movie. I don't know. I'm only 12 weeks into this. I'm not going to pass judgment.
You know, I really wanted to see Solo, and that didn't stop Alex when we took him from crying the whole time, where I spent most of it in the hallway. So
shit.
No, I still haven't seen all that movie.
I kind of forgot
saw
that
the parcel run thing. Didn't know what the hell was going on, but I got the gist of it. One of these days. Speaking of Marvel, is anybody watching Loki? I really like it.
I've seen the first 2 episodes. First episode was kind of tough. Second episode, super into it.
Yeah, first episode was a lot of setup. Which, to be fair, the first 2 episodes of WandaVision was a lot of setup too.
Yeah, but I think because it was packaged in like a fun 50s sitcom, I was like super into it.
Right.
But no, that's not to say that I didn't like the first episode. I
get it.
Yeah, Daniel and I watched it together, and I think I was in probably after the first episode, and I think Daniel needed the second episode to get into it.
It gets intense.
Yeah, because how many? There's 4 episodes now?
5.
Well,
oh God, we're so far behind.
We're up to 5.
It comes out on Wednesdays, right? Thursdays, Wednesdays?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why every time like Jay's like, there's another one. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's how are we this a week behind? And he's like, no, it just came out.
Yeah.
Well, it's only going to be 6. So
okay.
You don't have to worry about having a backlog.
Okay. And is it also going to be like a contained thing of just the one season?
I've heard on like the other 2, this one, they're thinking of doing multiple seasons for.
Okay.
They definitely could. I've been hearing that they're gonna have it. I heard on a podcast that they're gonna have a second season, but I haven't seen anything official from like Marvel that says that. And I mean, this one makes sense.
Yeah.
This is the first one to make sense
because you can.
Right, because it kind of lives outside the timeline of the rest.
So we'll see what happens.
One thing notable about that, did we talk about this the other day? The costume designer designed the costume specifically for the woman playing Sylvie, the blonde lady, without being too spoilery. I don't know if you've met that character.
I don't think I've gotten that far.
Okay, I don't think you've met that character yet. But she was breastfeeding, so the costume designer specifically made her costume so she can just unzip and pull out a tit.
Oh, God bless that woman.
Yeah. Which I thought was awesome, actually.
Oh, man, if I could just go on a mini rant about nursing clothes, they are the worst. 100% the worst. There's these panels and things you have to lift. It's like, it's almost more complicated than just wearing a normal shirt and just pulling it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've started looking at shirts that just button down the front.
Oh.
Because nursing shirts, I just can't. There's too much fabric. It is too hot. There's too many layers.
Oh, is it because you go
like trying to like figure it out? Oh, it's like a Rubik's cube of clothing. They're terrible.
I used to just have. I mean, you're in the summer. You don't just have like the tank top that you just like pull down.
I don't have any that like do that so well. So most of them I have to lift them up. And granted, most of my nursing stuff I got as hand-me-downs from friends, which I'm very, very appreciative of and very grateful for, and like very nice. But yeah, I'm finding them to be very complicated.
Here's what I would recommend.
Why do they not just sell V-neck things that you can just pull to the side? Because I have looked and I cannot find them anywhere.
Here's what I'd recommend, because I would. With Zachary, I had the like ones where you'd like take the straps off and pull down, which again, they were tank tops, so it was stupid. I'm just pulling it down.
I got a couple of those. I don't mind those.
But that with Alex is when I switched to in the summer, I just got tank tops from like Old Navy, cheap, like, they're $5 tank tops, and the bralettes. And I would just do it that way.
Okay. But I
it was easy, just slid right down.
Not enough support. Like the ladies are sizable,
right?
So because I do like around the house sometimes try and do just the nursing bra without like, or the bralette thing, like without an additional layer. But like I wouldn't go outside that way. I'm not like camera ready.
Well, everybody's boobs are shaped differently.
Yes, they're all functional. They're all beautiful. Yes. They all have their unique set of challenges.
So I've gained 10 pounds since the pandemic. Gained nothing in my boobs. My boobs are now smaller than they were before I even had Zachary. And I'm like, darn it. Like I couldn't even get like, the fun part of gaining weight, but whatever. Didn't have to buy new bras. Matt said in the chat, one of the big takeaways from the broadcast is the inherent sexism in clothing design, nursing stuff, pockets.
Yeah. No, that's real. That is absolutely real. Like, I don't think it is possible that a woman could have designed some of these nursing shirts because they're too much.
Yeah. Okay. So good news. I mean, anybody have any other shows or movies they've watched other than the Marvel things we just talked about?
Well, since we recorded on Tuesday, I finished Lady Parts.
Oh,
I loved it.
Hey.
Oh, good.
I really loved it. It's definitely worth a watch.
Awesome.
It's like very, very different than most shows because of the demographic. I like how they like incorporate religion. And then, of course, there's like the whole thing is that it's a clash between what you would expect and then what they actually are doing with like the music, because it's a bunch of women, some of whom wear hijabs, playing punk music. So, but really, really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is on the list, but I have to put everything else on hold right now for Handmaid's Tale.
Basically.
It'll be a good chaser afterwards.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I also had promised that I would watch that sex/life show as a good chaser too.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And Hacks. I'm still only 2 episodes into
so
Hacks.
Good.
But
When is Hacks on?
HBO Max.
Okay.
Yeah, I figure I'm not getting Peacock for this other stuff. We have too many streamers already.
Yeah.
But Hacks I can do.
Well, I thought that we had Peacock, and I logged in with because we wasn't at the thing like all access that we used to pay for it for Survivor. So I thought that we had it, but when I logged in, it only let me watch 4 episodes of 4 Girls 5 Eva, and I know it was my login because I set the account up. So then I went upstairs and was trying to figure it out, and it turns out we're using Jack's login for Peacock. So
sweet.
I don't know where the all access one is. I thought I was still paying for it, but whatever.
Well, but it's 2 separate channels.
Well,
is it? I thought
Peacock is NBC.
Oh.
CBS All Access is now Paramount Plus. Because now that CBS and Viacom are back together as one happy family.
That explains a lot. That's why my login wasn't working.
Separate networks. Separate conglomerates.
Just learned today. Okay, that's why. Because I even looked and I was like, we're paying for it.
I didn't realize that Peacock was associated with a network. I thought it was like a new Netflix kind of thing.
Well, because the Peacock is the NBC logo.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So that's why they call it Peacock.
I was thinking that's really random until you pointed out that very true.
Yeah, I'm sure they paid a branding agency like a stupid amount of money to come up with that stupid title.
Just so that people like me could be like, oh, is this a new Netflix?
Right. It probably took them years to develop that title and, the envision about it. Yeah. And they probably spent gobs of money going on retreats just to brainstorm titles. And what is the brand? What does NBC mean? What is our identifying principles? What are our pillars of the brand? How would you describe if NBC was a person? How would you describe them?
And you know how they probably landed on Peacock? Like some big wig executive probably did a bunch of coke and then woke up one morning and was like, Peacock, that's it.
Yeah, that's also usually how those things work. The person that gets paid the most money, their idea is usually the one that sticks, regardless of how bad it is.
So is that coke then a write-off?
Yes.
Well,
always.
Depending on what decade you're in, I would say probably the 80s and 90s, 100%.
I hear that if you just took out a loan to borrow the coke, then, it counted against your assets. You have to pay taxes on it.
True story. I used to
Shandy
work with editors that would talk about what it was like working in advertising and in the 80s and 90s. And they're like, oh yeah, there would be coke on the producer's table and you would just, that's a legit, it's not even a joke. That's really how that would go down.
Wow.
You watched the Halston bio thing that was on Netflix?
I did watch that. Yeah.
Wait, what is it called?
Halston. It's about the fashion designer.
I've never heard of that.
And he was like that. He'd just send out the assistant to buy mountains of coke, and everybody just came in and was, that wanted to come into the studio or do anything with him was just sniffing up the coke.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's 100% how that actually went down. The 80s were ridiculous, man.
They were. My uncle now he's retired, but he was a cop on Long Island, and he tells stories they would get calls back in the 90s, or maybe the late 80s, but they would get calls to the wealthier apartments for loud noises, and they would walk in on these coke parties that people were having, and because they were, and this just goes with how shitty the system is, because they were all it was a expensive building and they were all wealthier and blah, blah, blah. They would be like, you guys, we're going to turn around and we're going to tell you better lower your music and you better lower your voices and we're going to go. And if we come back again, then it's going to be a problem. And because they wouldn't even bother to cite them, arrest them, do anything for them. And my uncle has always been pro drugs. Like that's why he thinks he's a libertarian, because he's like, we shouldn't be making these arrests for drugs. It's so stupid. But like, you know, because he saw the double standard.
Right.
But yeah, so it just, you know, goes to show like, oh, society's
fucked up.
Yep. Always has been.
Okay. I had another movie, but I forgot. So
Can I jump in?
Yes, please do.
So I just started watching the current season of The Good Fight, and it is fantastic. I don't know if anybody's watched The Good Fight.
I watched the first season and a half when I was on maternity leave.
Some seasons have been better than others. And season 3 I really hated, but I stuck around for season 4, which I liked okay. But season 5 just started, and I am over the absolute moon. I love it so much. But I didn't know they only dropped 3 episodes, and then they're going to do it weekly. So I went on to watch the 4th episode this morning. I was so excited. I'm like, oh no, there's not another episode. So it's so good this season.
Is that on All Access or Peacock?
It is on Paramount Plus.
It used to be All Access, and then
used to be CBS All Access.
No.
But I had like a weird thing with Paramount Plus. So I'm down the shore at the beach house that I rent every summer.
I was gonna say it looks very beachy
TV,
where you are.
has some apps on it, and it has Paramount Plus on it. But I couldn't get Paramount Plus on the TV. I can only get it on my computer or my phone or my Fire Stick. I brought my Fire Stick down here, but I forgot to bring the remote. So anyway, I can watch it on my computer.
Oh no.
It's all right. I can watch it on my computer. No biggie. But it's great.
Okay.
Cool.
I know Dennis really loves the episode where they imagine what happened if Hillary had won.
That was a good but creepy episode.
Yeah. But I think he said the moral of the story is the grass isn't always greener, because if Hillary had won, we might not have gotten Me Too. And right, isn't it like the rabbit hole of things that might not have happened? Or
It's the It's a Wonderful Life effect.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because Audra McDonald is on the show now, right? Which I love her. Do they let her sing ever? Are there ever any musical episodes? Because I feel like Christine Baranski is also a great singer.
I love Christine Baranski so
She's
much.
just great in everything. Like everything. Even those really terrible like rom-coms she gets stuck as like the mom in, or like she makes them watchable.
She's great. Yeah. Okay, well, I have to move that up on my list. It's actually remember that list I made like early in the pandemic no way.
What? I figured. I was like, sort of like, JP looks like he might be driving to the shore.
Hi.
I'm gonna say that looks very much like Jersey highways towards the Jersey Shore.
That's so exciting.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Friends.
All right, let's go to the beach. Come on.
few more minutes. Okay, I had a question for everybody. I was thinking, because I was talking to my sister this past weekend, what is something that the pandemic has changed, or, now that we're coming out of it and going back to our normal routine, that has changed from your previous routine? Like, for instance, my example which is a silly example, but we stopped shopping at Trader Joe's because the line was always 40 minutes to get inside. And we just were like, hey, we can find these things elsewhere. So like we actually went more to Wegmans because it's by Trader Joe's, and we haven't gone to Trader Joe's since like, the very start of the pandemic. So how has even minute as that versus bigger, like how has your routine or whatever changed?
God, everything about my routine is 100% different.
Well, you have a baby now. So that is...
There's that on the big end, but even like small stuff, it's like, same. We don't, not that I really shopped at Trader Joe's all that often, but like when I was commuting, I would stop because it was along the subway. So yeah, I don't do that. My makeup routine is like severed in half.
Yeah. But what about when you go back to work? Will you go back to your makeup routine? Like I'm saying, like back when you go back to normal times, like what's different? Yeah, I guess you wouldn't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know if I will. I don't use a blow dryer really at all anymore.
Yeah, same.
I suppose in the winter I'll have to start doing that again.
Yeah. I've only used one like twice since then. Yeah. My mom teaches at a community college and they're back now, and she said that their like dress code has totally changed.
I watched
they had a dress code
now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had to dress, like teachers. And they still have just like teachers, but they don't have to like, they all are much more relaxed.
East Coast man.
Shandy's like,
I've been a teacher for many years.
Like, I wear my hiking sandals to school.
Literally, sometimes. That's post-pandemic.
I don't know. I was just wondering, like.
I used to go on a walk every lunch break, and I'd usually go to the RBG altar, and it's like not on my direct walk home, but I usually now take a huge detour, and because like from my work I can kind of link up to that loop that I used to do, and I come home the super long way to go by that. Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
How much time does that add to your commute?
It probably adds like maybe 20 to 30 minutes. It's not too bad.
But she's going home.
But it's a walk.
Yeah, you're on
like,
exactly.
So, yeah.
It's built-in exercise.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Anybody else? Anything different?
I will say, like, I've always been pretty, again, West Coast informal. But things got real informal when I first went back. Like hiking pants to work. Sometimes
same.
Hiking shoes. I still, I mean, I have a pair of black hiking pants that I think can pass as like normal pants. They're just really comfortable. So I still sometimes wear those. I wore a dress to work once since we've gone back, I think. And maybe like, I'm like getting kind of back into what I used to wear, but still not there yet. And yeah, also, I mean, even that's not fancy. So
yeah. I think there's a lot of pre-pandemic parts of my wardrobe that I've already like gotten rid of a lot of stuff, and some things I'm holding on to just because I'm like, well, when I'm done breastfeeding, I might wear these things again, but I probably won't. And it's like, and I love that part of the pandemic, sort of seeing how it's affected fashion. And I think ultimately we are all less victims of fashion and more using it to our advantage. And I think comfort now is more important than it was. I feel like pre-pandemic we would say like, oh, I bought this because it's comfortable, but really we bought it because it was in style. And I feel like now like people are more focused on like what is genuinely comfortable.
I was talking to somebody who said that they hope curbside pickup in its iteration like stays around forever because they really like people running their food out to their car and then going home instead of like the production of going to a restaurant.
Yeah.
Which, I'm all for that. If more people want to eat at home, then less of a wait time for me.
Right. Dining outside. Like I love that so many restaurants here in the city sort of built those cool outdoor semi-enclosures, and I'm glad they're still around, and I hope they stay around for forever, because if given the choice, I would much rather eat outside when the weather is nice.
Yeah, it's very European. If we could only adopt a couple more European things.
Yeah.
Like socialism.
Cool. Does anybody else have anything that they do differently now?
Well, our work has given us the option to work from home one day a week once we're back in the office.
Oof, that's great.
That's awesome.
And a bunch of people, I think, are never going back full-time into the office.
Yeah. I read about all of this, and I'm super jealous that I'm not part of it.
It's a little crazy because they figured out the IT staff. They would save a lot of money if they didn't have to pay for office space for them.
Right, exactly.
So they are now 100% remote.
Wow. Well, I guess you can. Yeah, you can remote in. Like if they need to go look at hardware, they can just pop in.
Yeah, and that's what they were doing when we were in an office anyway. Like our IT people would call us from like 100 feet away and be like, all right, I'm going to remote into your computer. And I'm like, you're around the corner. I just walk over.
Well, it's funny. My now former job, we used to do the summer days where, we would work, 9 days and then you could get a day off and you just, take a shorter lunch or whatever, all evened out. And she stopped doing that when we went back.
Why?
I don't know.
She went in the opposite direction
she went in the complete opposite direction, even though we were very successful and had a lot of like community recognition, like actual, like legit recognition for how great we operated, like switch over seamlessly to working remote. And she went the complete opposite way. But the Drake has joined us. Hi.
Hey.
Okay. Does anybody have any other movies, TVs, topics, anything they want to talk about? Ro, what are you guys doing this weekend? Beaching it up?
JP, what are we doing this weekend?
I don't know, Ro. What do you have planned for me?
We're going for outdoor dining at a really excellent restaurant that's got this beautiful new setup. JP's paying.
Ooh,
nice.
And then, I don't know, what else are we doing, Melissa? Drinks, right, drinks. We'll go out for a few drinks. And then we'll see.
Champagne.
I was prepared for the champagne toast also. I had a bucket of ice in my car.
Oh, we could do another toast?
Well, we can still do that.
It's JP. Don't.
He's going to bring that bucket of ice in and dump it on Ro's head.
That sounds more like something that would happen. Yes. I'll be a little afraid when we're at the beach.
That's a good idea. That would be a great challenge.
I've done the ice bucket challenge. If I remember, I'll share my video in the thread because it's quite funny.
Oh, we did it too. We did the Zamboni.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah. Oh. I remember that.
That challenge was 7 years ago. Can you believe that?
It was.
Wow. Yeah.
My dad actually had ALS.
Oh.
That's why I did the challenge. Raised a lot of money.
Wow.
That's
nice.
Yeah. Wow, that was 7 years ago.
That was 7 years ago.
Right, because Daniel and I will be together 7 years because we had just started dating.
Wow.
I did it while on maternity leave for Zachary.
Yeah, it was like our third sort of half date. And I was like, oh yeah, I have to leave and go meet up with my friend. We're doing the ice bucket challenge.
And now look.
And now look. Wow, 7 years. That's a long time.
Wow. Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're going to hit the beach.
All right. Well, have
Enjoy.
fun.
Oh,
Put your sunscreen on.
Yeah, the weather's beautiful today. Enjoy it.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, cheers. We can start to wrap this up too. Yeah, I don't want to I know it's Saturday morning, so I don't want to keep anybody too long. I had brought these book things out. Does anybody want to do one or two would you rather, and then we'll get out of here?
Sure.
Okay, pick a number between 1 and 3,000.
2091.
Okay. Would you rather face a fork in the road or be forced to pick between 3 doors?
Ooh, fork in the road.
I think so too.
Because it means movement, whereas the doors, you're just kind of standing there.
Well, unless, you enter it and one is the good place, one is the bad place, and one is the in between.
Yeah, but the fork in the road, you can kind of at least get a sneak peek as to where each direction would take you.
Yeah, but one could make a quick curve and then,
But at least you could see that it's going to make a quick curve.
But you don't know that. What if it's in a forest?
I don't know. But you have a better chance of seeing something than doors.
Okay.
Doors, you're not seeing anything unless they've got like a doggy flap or they're the type of doors that have a window. But I feel like usually in this instance, they are just solid wood doors.
I'm going to go with windowless doors. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Would anybody pick the doors? All right. We're all fork in the road kind of people. We're going to just go to the one right before this. Would you rather always hear a clock ticking or always hear church bells in your ears? Both are annoying.
Oh, both are annoying.
Always?
Always.
Do the church bells, is it always the same tune or do they change it up?
Do church bells ever change their tune?
Yes, they do.
There's bell choirs that can do all sorts of different songs and stuff, for bells at churches and stuff. So
that's a good point. Remember when I said my sister her ideal life would be to be followed around by a
choir or something?
Like a black choir, yeah.
Also, I learned the church that I went to growing up, it's an old colonial congregational church. There's no bell up there anymore. It's a CD. So it can change its tune because it's a CD. It's not a real bell.
That sounds scandalous.
Yeah.
CD.
See, that's the bad part of progress. They digitalized your...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bells are really expensive to maintain.
Exactly. Bells are expensive.
Yeah.
Are they really? I guess you have to clean them out and make sure they don't. Oh. Well, I just learned something new. I learned 2 new things today. Peacock is separate than All Access, and which is now Paramount.
Yep.
My favorite Disney Plus is the streaming service though that we use the most.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Somebody pick another number.
1,573.
Okay. 1,000. Went back too far. 573. Okay, would you rather lick your significant other's armpit or a stranger's ear?
Significant other's armpit.
Yeah, I suppose so.
What part of the ear?
I mean, if it's just like up here,
If it's the outer
top.
rim, I might take like a stranger's ear.
Just where the earring is, I don't know.
But it's going to be inherently more awkward.
Not if you both agree to it.
And if they're a clean stranger, I mean, it's going to depend on how they smell.
Right. Because there's just so many factors with armpits, like deodorant, just hair.
If you're single, this is a really easy question.
You would pick the ear.
Well, you're single, so you have no significant other.
Well, if you hypothetically had a significant other in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hypothetical question.
Is it though?
You look very Jon Snow right now.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I was going for Aquaman.
Oh my God, you do look like Aquaman too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah. That works.
How have you been? We haven't seen you in so long.
Been tired.
Yeah, a pandemic will do that to you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Would you rather? I need another. Eat human flesh to survive or starve to death?
I mean, I'd rather survive, so that leaves you only one option.
Got to get that protein.
Yeah. Gross.
Yeah, super gross. But yeah, I guess I'd rather also survive. Amanda, would you rather potty train 10 puppies or 5 toddlers? Actually, Maggie.
That's true. I have no.
Neither. Dogs might be easier. Luckily, and knock on wood, they've mostly been potty trained when they get to me, or luckily, since I'm kind of the teacher and I'm usually busy when that happens, so someone else helps with that. I'm very lucky.
Yes.
Nice.
So yeah, we have a few interesting stories with some of the potty training in preschool. So.
You will have to share them someday.
Yes, please.
Okay, one last one. Somebody pick a number.
420.
Oh, well, that's appropriate. Okay. Wait, I thought you stopped smoking pot.
For now.
Just likes the number.
You're like Miley. You take breaks. Oh my goodness. Okay. Would you rather? Would you rather encourage others or be generous? I feel like this could be the same thing.
It is the same
Encourage others or be generous?
Like,
yeah,
would you like
should
rather
strive for
like
both?
Yeah. Would you rather like if someone was to define you as generous or encouraging? Like which one would you prefer there? Yeah, I don't get the question.
I'm gonna go with generous.
You can be encouraging without being generous, though.
True. You could be like, bootstraps, baby, you got this.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be generous too. I think I'd rather be both, but yeah, maybe more generous.
Would anybody be encouraging?
Encouraging has very little value.
Unless you're really, really
I mean, if you
motivational.
actually want to encourage someone, you wouldn't put the effort into it.
True, which is.
I mean, I don't know. I do a lot of encouraging of preschoolers to like do things they're scared of on the playground, like go down the fire pole or like cross, or like, and it's like, okay, you can do it. You put your leg here, I mean, or like trying to do the monkey bars. Like, I mean, so there is a place for it. I think it just, that's a difficult one, but.
It is a difficult one. And I agree. Like, just especially with like children where you're like, come on, you can do this, I promise. And then like once you give them the courage or not even the courage, the like, what's the word? The confidence. Like when we were at the beach, like Alex ran right in the water and then tripped twice. And then he was like, oh, hell no, I'm never doing this again. So we had to like walk him out by like our pinky fingers. And then, so we had to encourage him to be like, no, like this water is shallow. You can absolutely walk in. You just have to be careful. And like, it took another like day and a half. And then by the end he was, had the confidence and like, I mean, and he was able to like, be his little beach person self. which, is a very stupid example in what we're trying to accomplish here.
No, not at all. I think that's a great example. I think you almost swayed me to be like, oh, well, maybe I would rather be more encouraging than generous. You made a good point.
I think it's situational. There's a time and a place. Like Maggie's not going to be like, here's $5. Go pee on the potty.
Right. I mean, she could, but I don't know if that's like the best.
Well, she could, but then she'd be their grandparent, not their teacher. So
exactly. Right. But she's generous with her time.
Yes. That's very true. Okay. And then one really easy one. Wear a fedora or a beret?
Beret. Gotta go beret.
I have to go fedora. I look terrible in hats.
Yeah, I don't think either one would work for me, but I just think with the French thing, I would have to.
That's a good point.
Yeah. It's probably warmer than a fedora, but a fedora offers some nice shade if it's sunny.
That's true. But it's a fedora.
You're totally a fedora person with a top hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hats always give me a headache, so I've got to go with a beret. Like anything, like sunglasses on my head gives me a headache. Like I put it up there for like 2 seconds and my head's hurting.
Oh, is it like a tension thing?
I don't know. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I've got. So that's the only thing that happens with like hats or just sunglasses up there. It's just I don't know what it is. I haven't figured it out. So I just don't do it, and it's fine.
Yeah. So do you put the little lanyard things so when you want to take your sunglasses off, you just hang them?
I usually just put them in a pocket or hold them or something. Or we'll see, I'll forget and I'll push them up and then like it's just
yeah.
Headache. So
I used to get headaches from putting my hair back.
I don't think I get them from that, but I don't know.
Well, I think it is about time to wrap this up. So we don't take up too much of your Saturday. One last champagne toast, everybody. We made it halfway through 2021.
Wow.
That's amazing. How did that happen?
Time, man.
Time marches on.
We will be back with the bloopers next week, maybe. Fingers crossed. Handmaid's Tale. Oh, I'm sorry. Handmaid's Tale will be next week. Then we'll have bloopers. Then we're going to record on Monday, August 2nd instead of the Tuesday the 3rd because Shandy's going to Hawaii. And that's going to be fun. Then we'll be off the second week in August and we'll be back the third week. So, broadcast summer. What? Anyway, thank you guys, though. For joining us. We appreciate it. Thank you to the patrons, especially ones who reach a certain level, and that would be Eckhart Rigner, Tackling Tokyo, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, and Ed the Creepy Mailman, who is working right now, but he would have made it if not. I think. I'd like to think that. Anyway, thank you guys. Email Patreon, janjack.com. No, I'm sorry. Patreon.com/janjack. And feedback. Send us some feedback. thebroadcasters3@gmail.com or give us a call, 331-276-2373. And now I think I'm done. Sorry, that was super awkward. I don't know why. This is like the easiest thing to do the whole show. And I stumble through it every single week.
All that champagne.
Yeah, I didn't finish it, which was good. So, I got to go get in a kayak. So I'm probably very
smart. You guys have your life vests. You're not drunk. These are...
Yeah. Kayaking is totally a thing people do. You'll be fine.
That's very true. I'm excited. I'm excited. So
yeah, and you're gonna be on a lake. It's like there's not as many waves. You'll be fine.
There's zero waves.
Exactly. You'll be fine. You have no elements to really deal with.
It's literally a man-made, self-contained lake in the middle.
Oh, you'll be fine. Finish the champagne and hop in that kayak. Live your best life.
Does anybody want to take any bets? Which of my children will cry first, Zachary or Alex? They want to get out.
Zach. That's what I'm going to
Definitely Zachary. We'll see, though. Once in a while, Alex realizes just how short he is, and he gets overwhelmed by size things. Although yesterday we were in the car. We're quick Alex story, and then we can go. We were in the car. And Alex has the tablet and he's watching Doc McStuffins or whatever. And he starts freaking out. And I was like, what's the matter? What's the matter? Thinking did we go through dead zone? Maybe it stopped streaming, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, my penis itches. And I'm like, oh, well, can't you just scratch it? And he was like, I can't, the tablet's in the way. And I was like, just put the tablet down. What? Anyway, kids, they're funny.
It's not always that simple.
Apparently it's not. I was like, hand me the tablet. He's like, no. I was like, hand it. I'm like, hand it to me right now.
Hand it to me. Scratch your penis.
You can have it back when you scratched your penis.
I was like, crotches is the worst. You don't want it.
Oh no.
My guess is he probably just was sweaty, because we were in the car. Anyway, all right. On that note, everybody, thank you for joining us. We will talk to you next week. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.